So today I've made some curtain tiebacks using Josephine knots and gathering knots on the ends. It didn't take too long to do each. Just take your time, follow along and pause. Once you get the hang of doing one of the Josephine knots, then the other ones just sort of fall into place, and just keep playing with them until you've got them into the right spot. In total, they are 93 centimeters in length, that is end to end. But if you have curtains that are a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, just adjust the size to suit you. Let's go. Now, when we make this, there's going to be 7 Josephine knots on the top and then 6 on the bottom. Then at each end, there is going to be a gathering knot as well, just to help tie it together. Now, to start off with, we have 2 pieces at 40 centimeters each, and we have 6 pieces at 2 meters, and then 3 pieces at 3 meters. Now, when you're first putting them together, make sure that the 3 meter cords are in the center and the 2 meter cords are on the outside. This is because the 3 meter ones are going to be joining in both knots, and these 2 are only going to be in the knots in those rows. And we're just going to tie a knot around them, making sure that these ones are sort of separate. Now just shuffle this knot down so there is 20 centimeters left between the end of the cord and this knot, because that's how much we want the tassel to be. Then at about 8 centimeters down, which is about here, that's where we're going to start using the Josephine knot. Now to start making the Josephine knot, you're going to take the cords that you have on the right, because these are the 2 cords that we're going to be using, or 2 sections we'll be using. You're going to make a circle. I'm leaving space in the middle there because we're going to use that. Now, because I'm working on the table and these cords are too long that they keep rolling off, I'm just going to lift them up so they don't fall off as I'm grabbing the second piece. Now you're going to grab the end of this piece, and I've just tied a knot so it makes it easier to thread through. Now it's going to go behind this middle one, okay, then it's going to go over the top of this first one that we looped around and behind its own cord and back through. Okay, now I'm just going to keep pulling this cord through. And so, should look about like that. Okay, you can start to see the knot forming. And then with this one, we want to just keep pulling everything through gently so it holds the right shape. And we also want it to sit a little bit higher, so I'm just going to pull those cords through. And just keep following with the direction that they've made in the knot. Just keep playing with it until it's sitting how you like. Don't worry too much about these first ones, that they're in the right spot, because we're going to undo this later and then redo everything. Okay, so that's the first one. Now we're going to repeat the same thing in this second spot here. And it's exactly the same, so starting with the cords that are on the right, making that bit of a loop. Like that. Now to make it easier to thread through, I've just done a little knot on the end of each section. So this cord here is going to come over the top of this one, behind that first one, then it's going to come over this and under this one. Like that. Okay, so just sort of hold gently on the cords to pull them through. And you can start to see it forming. Now, because this one we want it to sit almost flush, we're just going to keep shuffling it upwards until it sits somewhere that you're happy with. Don't be afraid just to work it out a little bit. Sometimes the cords will get stuck and twisted and not sit right, so just keep working on it. Okay, once you're happy with your second one, then we're just going to move on to the other side and start doing it again. Now that the 7 Josephine knots on the top are made and the 6 on the bottom, we're going to tie the ends off. So from the bottom Josephine knot, just measure about 9 centimeters down, so where that cord is, and we're going to do a gathering knot. So you can undo this one. This is a 47 centimeter piece of cord. Just make a loop, and 9 centimeters is about here, and start wrapping it around tightly. Now, to make sure it sits nice, I just pull it through. So this is the cord that comes out the top. We're just going to tug on the other one so this top layer is nice and tight. And we're just going to stick it through that loop and gently pull through. I keep tugging on this one just to make that bottom layer nice and tight as well. Pull through. Here, just trim this bottom layer. That's nice and hidden. Just trim the top piece as well. There you go. Be careful not to trim that other piece of cord as well. Now going to the other side. Just do the same thing. Now this does have, quite a bit of extra cord to it. Now the other side is 21 centimeters down. I'll just measure that again. So this side here is 20 centimeters. We'll just measure the same from the bottom. There you go. For the end, I'm not going to do any knots, but if you wanted to, you can just finish them off with an overhand knot. just like that. But I just want to sort of rough the ends up a little bit, but not brush the whole length out. It's up to you.